welcome to Mountain Life Yoga with Christy. Hi. I miss you all so much. So today I woke up with a big case of the Corona blues, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, right? Probably everybody. And then I read the news, which made it worse. So I decided that I really needed to turn things around today. So that's what we're gonna do today. Today's theme of the class is turning it around. So that being said, we will be facing both sides on our yoga mat so that we can literally be turning things around, right? But also, the focus for the class today is learning how to respond instead of react. So any given situation, we have choices, right? We can respond to a situation with a nice calculated, clear mind, or we can react, like a knee-jerk reaction. And in these uncertain times, I feel like this is really helpful to learn the difference between the two. And you know, this is something that is like a lifelong practice for most people. So I just wanted to share some tools out of my tool belt with you. Our breathing is a really good way to take a pause, take a moment, figure out how you would like to respond to a situation instead of reacting. So sometimes just 3 to 5 deep breaths can completely turn around your entire day or your experience that you're having. So with that being said, we're going to hold almost everything in class today for 3 to 5 breaths. And I just want to, if we're moving, it'll be 5 breaths in movement. But if we're holding, it's 3 to 5 breaths. And I just want to clarify that so that you don't feel like you have to completely adjust your breathing to match my pace. So breathe on your own. It should be about 3 to 5 breaths. But in general life, when you're practicing these things, take your time, take 5 whole breaths in each response or in each pose. Basically, I just feel like if we utilize our time on the mat to build these abilities and strengthen our abilities, then we can pull those abilities out when we need them in the real world. My other tool in my tool belt is lavender oil or citrus oil. So right now I'm like basically bathed in lavender oil. So if you have maybe gone to the store sometime and bought lavender oil and it's been sitting in your cabinet unused, go get it, take a big sniff, and meet me back on your mat. Tangerines, lemon, grapefruit, lime, anything else like that. Sometimes just open up an orange and smell it, and the qualities actually have a real reaction on our physiology. So experiment with those. When you're feeling down, smell a lemon, something like that. And when you do yoga especially, use that to help deepen your practice. So let's get started. Shall I stop rambling? Let's start on our backs. Oh, before we begin, you might want to grab a chair or some sort of prop, a stool, a block. If you have yoga blocks, those work too. It doesn't have to be super tall, but we'll be doing Warrior 3 later, which is essentially a forward fold with a long straight body. So this is what we'll be doing. So you might want to have a chair or a block, something that you can reach your hands to for balance, and just place that at the bottom of your mat. And then join me on the floor. Let's start with just a little bit of centering and breathing. We'll start to connect with this breath so that we know how to access it when we need it. So lie on your back, shrug your shoulders a little closer together maybe, close your eyes, and then wiggle out your wrists and ankles. Maybe let your legs sway a little or bounce a little, move your arms up past your head, and then pull your whole body in a nice full body stretch. And then let your arms just come to the floor. So you can be laying on the floor in any shape that you want on your back. If you have lower back issues, sometimes it feels good to bend your knees, stretch your spine, and then just rest this way. That could feel better. So take the next 5 breaths to make them as big and deep and complete as possible. Feeling it fill up your entire belly, maybe even sipping in a little more breath at the top, more than you thought you could handle. And then as your exhale comes, let it go slowly. Try to make it a methodical exhale. So it's not just like a big sigh. We're just exhaling slowly like we inhale. And as you continue to breathe this way, loosen your jaw. Feel your back pressing into the floor on the inhalations and feeling your belly slowly press towards the floor on your exhalations. 1 or 2 more long, slow breaths here before we start to move. Maybe setting the intention of responding instead of reacting. And you might want to keep your eyes closed and just follow my voice, or you can watch if you like, but all we're going to do is bring our legs up towards the ceiling and wiggle out our ankles, maybe shift your hips a little. And we're going to bring our right leg in towards our belly, clasp your hands around your shin for Janu Shirshasana, wind relieving pose. So start squeezing your right thigh into your belly, keep breathing nice and slow. We're going to make this take about 5 breaths. We're going to slowly lower your left foot to the floor in the space of 1 or 2 breaths, and then we'll stay here for the next 3. As you do this, keep squeezing your right leg in towards your body. Flex your left toes and push back with your heel. You're trying to make your heel the farthest part away from your body. Notice on your inhalations if you can get your belly to press on your thigh and squeeze your thigh in tighter towards your belly. You can make circles with your right ankle just for a little bit of something else that feels good. And at the end of your next exhale, we're going to raise our left leg back up to the ceiling on an inhalation. Keep your leg long and straight, and when it reaches the top, stretch your right leg up too. And as you exhale, bring your left knee in towards your belly. Switch the cross of your fingers so your awkward thumb is on top. Squeeze that left thigh in, stretch your right leg long and straight, and slowly, over the span of 1 or 2 breaths, bring that long straight leg down towards the ground. And once it touches, keep breathing slow. Maybe you can slow down your breath even more as you push out through your right heel and pull in with your hands on your left leg. Make some circles with your left ankle, flex and point your toes. Keep squeezing. Notice if your shoulders are shrugging up towards your ears, sink them towards the floor. Actively pull your leg in towards your belly. Feel your belly expand upon your leg. And take 1 more full, slow round of breaths here. And at the end of your exhale, start to inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling. Release your left leg up also. Stay here for a breath just to reach your hands and feet up towards the ceiling. Wiggle out your wrists and ankles. And then start to hug your knees together and in towards your belly. Balasana. You can rock a little from side to side. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. You can hold your knees with your hands and pull them in, or you can wrap your arms around and pull in. Wherever you're at, notice if your chin is arching up towards the sky. Tuck it slightly in towards your chest and shrug your shoulders down. We're trying to iron out our spine on the floor. Keep breathing slower all the time and keep squeezing. You can point your toes to make this a little more active. Squeeze it in for 1 more breath. And as you exhale, release your feet to the floor, arms wide to the sides. So arms are in a T. Separate your feet wider. Let your legs windshield wiper just for a moment, 1 or 2 times to each side. Knees to the floor and then knees up. And then bring your legs towards the center again, back up towards the ceiling, feet towards the sky. Stack your heels over your knees and your knees over your hips. Keep your knees where they are, bend them. Squeeze your thighs together, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, let your legs lower down to the left as your chin goes to the right. Inhale up through center, and slowly exhale to the other side, chin to the other side also. That was 1, we'll do this 4 more times. You can sort of pause for a beat in between your inhalation and your exhalation to feel the pose. Try to keep your knees in line with your hips so that they cross directly over your hips each time they come up. Continue at your own pace, nice and slow. That should be about round 3 starting now. Plug your shoulders onto the floor. So maybe that means that your hip or your knees don't go quite as close to the floor, that's okay. You'll deepen the twist in your spine if you keep your shoulders down. Re-engage your legs, squeeze them towards each other. And finish the round that you're on and complete one more to each side. Maybe close your eyes and just feel what your body feels like as you do these twists. Turning on your core, twisting your spine, detoxifying our organs and spine. And when you've completed the last round, bring your knees up to center and then float your heels to the floor. Keep your knees and hips about in a line with each other and inch your heels closer to your butt. And then we'll go into bridge. So press your feet down into the floor, shrug your shoulders closer together and inhale your hips up to the sky. And we're gonna stay up here for 5 breaths. So slow it down. Exhale nice and easy, slower than you normally do. Push forward with your tailbone like you're trying to stretch it towards your knees. Press down with the back of your head, but tuck your chin slightly towards the floor, or towards your chest rather. Re-engage, you can clasp your hands below you and press your forearms into the floor if that's comfortable. Otherwise, just keep your hands on the floor. Squeeze your thighs in towards each other. Push your hips towards the ceiling. We've got about 2 more breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe press your forearms and elbows stronger into the floor. Maybe try to relax your butt muscles and see if you can still push your hips up towards the sky. On our last round of breath, you start to release your hands. And then we'll take one more movement with breath here. Inhaling your arms up high towards the sky. As you exhale, let them come down behind your ears and then slowly lower your hips to the ground. Extend your legs one at a time long on the floor and then point your toes, stretch your fingers, and just give yourself a full body yawning stretch. From here, we're just gonna flip over onto our bellies. So you can roll over onto one side, reposition yourself on the mat, on your belly. Place your hands under your shoulders, curl your toes under, and we're gonna press up into a push-up. And we're just gonna pause here for 3 to 5 breaths. So some things to think about. Reposition your hands so that they are under your shoulders. Push back with your heels, hug your thighs in. As you inhale, stretch your heart forward as you push back with your heels. And as you exhale, hug all of your muscles in towards the center line. Push up through your shoulder blades, push back with your heels, but let your hips sink down and roll your thighs in towards each other. One more big, long, slow inhale here. Pause at the tip of your inhale and see if you can get a little more breath. And at the end of that inhalation, just bring your knees to the ground to exhale. And then flow through a couple rounds of cats and cows just to release the spine and relax the core that you just turned on a little bit. Opening it up. And coming back towards the center, walk your hands forward, one hand print. From here, we're going to keep our left hand on the ground and our right knee on the floor, but extend left foot long behind you and right arm long in front. Take a big breath in and begin 5 rounds of breath as you exhale, curling into a tight little ball, elbow to belly button, knee to nose. As you inhale, stretch long. Exhaling to curl up, make a fist, curl up as tight as you can, squeeze your belly. Inhale, long stretch, push out with your heel and your finger. Exhale, curling in tight into a ball. Inhale to stretch long. One more time, exhaling to curl into a tight little ball. Inhaling to stretch long. Now, cue change here. Start to bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand, clasp onto your foot and push back. So if this is not accessible, just reach, push your toes towards the ceiling and your fingers towards your foot. If your foot is accessible, grab it and just feel a big back bend. Try to keep your hips squared towards the floor, but reach your gaze and your toes up towards the ceiling. Stretch your right shoulder back. Keep breathing. Reach your heart forward, push your knee back. Squeeze your thighs in towards each other for one more inhalation. Exhale, release to the floor. Separate your knees, hips to heels, child's pose. Your hands can be behind you or forward. And just pause here for a couple rounds of breath, feeling your body expand with your inhalations and completely empty with your exhalations. If your hands are back, stretch them forward again, because we've got to do the other side. Palms on the floor, raise your hips up. Hands should be a little forward in front of your shoulders. Keep your right hand on the ground and extend your right leg back as you stretch your left arm forward. Start to take a big breath in, and then begin 5 rounds. Exhaling to curl tight into a little ball. Tuck your chin towards your chest, nose to knee. Inhale, stretching as long as you can. Exhale, make a fist. Curl it in tight. Exhale, completely squeeze out all the breath. Inhaling to extend as long as you can. Hips squared towards the floor. Exhale, curl into a tight little ball. Maybe your nose can touch your knee. Inhaling for length. One more time. Exhale, deep in, tight, curl, squeeze it in. Inhale, long. Pause here. Bend your right knee, sweep your left arm back, reach for your foot. If you can get it, grab on. Reach your gaze up towards the ceiling. Notice if you're sinking down, straighten your front arm. Push up, keep breathing. Notice if your right leg is bowing out. Bring it back in, gaze up towards the sky, maybe over your left shoulder a little. Squeeze your thighs in towards each other as you push your knee back and toes towards the ceiling. Stay for one more big breath in. Exhale, knee to the floor, hips to heels, child's pose. You can always separate your feet, your knees wider to make room for your belly, forehead on the floor, and take 3 to 5 breaths here. You just turned on your energy a lot. You should be heart maybe pumping. Start to slow it down. Big breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. At the end of your next breath, stretch your hands forward. Slowly start to rise up onto your hands and knees. From here, just step your right foot forward in between your hands and take a couple rounds of breaths to inhale your hips back, exhaling your hips forward. We're just working on lubricating the hip joints here, getting some synovial fluid going. Starting to open up along the back side of your right leg. And the next time you're forward, bring your hands up to your knee, sink in. So option 2, upgrade here. You can curl your back toes under and raise your back knee. We're just gonna take 3 rounds of breath, inhaling your arms forward and up. Exhaling, cactus arms. Inhale, gaze up, or gaze forward, fingers up, squeeze, sit down. Exhale, cactus your arms, back bend. Inhale your arms up high. Cactus your arms as you exhale. So for the last 2 breaths, we'll change. Inhaling your arms up. As you exhale, twist to the right and sink in. Stay for one more big breath in. And as you exhale, hinge forward, hands to the mat. If your back leg is on the ground, raise your knee. Shift your weight back, straighten both legs, and then rotate to the left. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. You can pigeon toe your feet a little by heels going out, hinge forward, and just take 5 breaths in a forward fold, whatever feels good. You can sway your hips from side to side. Stay for 2 more breaths, really slow, nice, easy breaths. Relaxing your whole torso forward. From here, we're just going to shift around to the other side. So start walking your hands to the left. Bend your knee, find your lunge. If you did so on the other side, lower your right leg. And we'll just take the next few breaths, inhaling your hips back, exhaling your hips forward, exploring the range of motion, stretching your hamstrings. And the next time you're forward, sink in. Choose if you'd like to raise your back knee or not. Start to inhale your arms forward and up, deep into sinking into your lunge. Exhale, bring your arms wide. Cactus arms, back bend. 3 times like that. As you inhale, stretch up with your fingers, but sink your hips in. And as you exhale, see if you can get your heart higher to the sky. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. 1 more time like that. And then we'll do 2 breaths in a twist. So the next time your hands come up, exhale your hands to the heart and twist to the left. Sink in as you exhale. Stay for a big breath in. See if you can squeeze your thighs in towards each other like scissors. With your next inhalation, come back towards center. Exhale, hands to the floor. This time, step your left foot back into high plank. And we'll stay in high plank for 3 to 5 breaths. So like me, if you are like me and you have wrist issues, come onto your fists. Make sure that your thumb is pointing straight forward. Then everybody push back with your heels, hug your thighs in, sink your hips down, shrug your shoulders back, push your heart forward, and then as you exhale on your next exhale, slowly lower down to the ground, belly to the floor, uncurl your toes. Bhujangasana as you inhale, peel your face and chest up. 5 rounds of breath like this. Exhaling to tap your nose or chin to the floor or forehead. Inhale, cobra pose, pull your heart up and forward. Shrug your elbows back. Exhale, forward. Engage your legs, press down with your toenails. Inhale, peel your heart back. Maybe your hands hover because you're arching your back so deeply. Exhale, forward, relax a little. I think we're on 4, so do 2 more. Inhale, cobra. Maybe push up a little bit for a better back bend. Exhale, down. 1 more time like this. Inhale, peel your face and chest up, elbows back. Exhale, forward fold. Curl your toes under. Inhale to the top of a push-up. And exhale to down dog. Big breath in through your nose here. Out through your mouth. Do that again nice and slow. Not a big, fast sigh, but a thoughtful, controlled exhale. Bring your gaze forward and step or hop your feet to the front of your mat. Find a forward fold. Tuck your knee, or bend your knees, tuck your tail, roll up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. When you rise up, shrug your shoulders, do all the things that feel good when you first come to standing. Maybe sway a little from side to side. Let your arms flap around, wrap around. Good. Give yourself a neck roll in each direction. And come to standing at the front of your mat. We're going to do some sun salutations 5 times. So if your chair is there, go ahead and move it a little forward just so you don't feel crowded. Start with your feet hips width distance. Exhale all of your breath. And then we begin. Inhale, sweep your arms wide. Palms touch at the top. Turn on your core as you exhale, swan dive forward, nice and slow, straight spine. Hands come to shins, inhale for the half lift up. Exhale, hands to the floor, right foot back, high lunge. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward and up, crescent lunge. And as you exhale, forward fold, bring your hands to the mat. Step your foot back to plank. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, lower down, elbows graze your ribs, uncurl your toes. Inhale, peel your face and chest up forward, for cobra. Exhale, roll forward, curl your toes under. Inhale to the top of a push-up and hips up and back to down dog. And stay for the exhalation. Shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through into the lunge. Sink down. Inhale your arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat and step your right foot forward. Hands to shins, inhale for the half lift. Slow exhale, forward fold, rotate your thighs in. Sweep your arms wide, inhale all the way up to standing, palms touch. And we begin again. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees if you like. Hands to shins, inhale for the partial lift, long straight spine. Exhale, forward fold, step your right foot back into a lunge. Inhale, arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Little cue change here. As you exhale, hinge forward, hands to the mat. Sweep your left foot back high to 3-legged dog. Exhale, foot to the floor, find plank. And all the way down to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, peel your face and chest up. Exhale, roll forward, curl your toes under. Inhale to the top of a push-up and hit to down dog. Stay for the exhale. Shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step your foot forward into the lunge. Inhale, arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees a little, sweep your arms wide. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, forward fold, nice and slow. This is round 3. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, step your right foot back, high lunge. Inhale, arms forward and up, crescent lunge, big back bend here. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your foot back, sweep it up high. Exhale, foot to the mat, forward into plank and down to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, peel your face and chest up. Exhale, forward fold. Curl your toes under. Inhale through push up, hips up and back to down dog. Exhale, shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through into the lunge. Inhale, arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift, straight arms, legs, and back. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep your arms wide. Inhale all the way up to the top. Number 4. Exhale, arms go wide. Heart leads as you swan dive forward. Inhale, straighten all limbs for a flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. Sorry, right foot back. High lunge. Inhale, arms forward and up. Sink your hips down. Back bend a little. Exhale, hands to the mat. Sweep your left foot back high to the sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, foot to the floor. Shift forward to plank. Down to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Pull back, or you can do an up dog if you like. Exhale, down to the floor. Curl your toes under. Inhale to the top of a push-up, hips up and back to down dog. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through into the lunge. Inhale your arms forward and up, crescent lunge, slow-mo back bend. Exhale, hands to the floor, step your foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees a little. Inhale, sweep your arms wide. We begin our last one. Take this nice and slow at your own pace. Maybe slow it down a little bit more. If you mess up the sequence a little, it's okay. You've done this 4 times before. Just go through it and see if you can begin to really feel your body as you move, tied to your breath. Inhalations bring us up high. Exhalations usually bring us down and let us calm. And when you've completed, we'll just meet standing at the front of our mat. Make sure that you did both sides, so that the first time your left leg was forward and the second time your right leg is forward. And as you rise, go real slow. And as your hands come together at the top, exhale them to your heart, and we'll just pause for 3 to 5 breaths in Tadasana with eyes closed and hands at heart. So you're just standing. Let gravity work a little. Soften your shoulders back and down. Maybe stick out your tongue so you can relax your jaw and just start to slow down your breath in and out through your nose, slowing down your heart rate as well. At the end of the next breath, just release your arms, roll out your shoulders, maybe take a drink of water. And then come to the front of your mat and grab your chair if you're using one, or your block, or nothing. If you're comfortable in Warrior 3, it's Warrior 3, it's also called Tula Dandasana in some yoga practices, balancing stick. And we'll just practice it a little bit on each side to start. So We'll start in a lunge. So start with your left foot on the floor, step your right foot back into a lunge like we did before. Get your leg back pretty far. Sweep your arms forward and up and sink into the crescent lunge. This is just to remind us that we can get to it easily from other yoga postures. Start to shift your weight forward. You can bring your hands to the chair or to the floor. And then as you shift your weight forward, raise your back leg, straighten your front leg. So if you like, you can hold on to the chair or a block for balance, but don't make it a crutch. Just make it a balance assistance. We'll be pushing back through our right foot. If you like, you can bring your hands to your heart or airplane arms or straight forward. Wherever you're at, rotate right hip forward and in and press back with your heel. Try to be long and straight through your spine. So here's the change. We're going to go into a balanced standing. So you're going to bend your right leg as you shift your weight forward and up and come up to standing. So here you can also use your chair as a prop for your foot, but don't lean on it. Knees should be about parallel to the hip. And just hold here for a couple breaths. Notice if your right hip is up in the air, bring it back down. Hips are squared. Shoulders are stacked over hips. Right leg is stick straight, not bending. That's just adding tension on joints and more work for your muscles. Stack your joints. So we're gonna flow 5 times through these. So take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knee more, kick it back, hinge forward, warrior 3. Inhale, bend your knee, shift forward, pull it up high. Exhale again. You can make this easier by bringing your hands to your heart or using the chair. But keep flowing through, inhaling. If you need to drop your foot like I did, that's okay. Exhaling, either airplane arms, balance on this chair, or hands to heart. 2 more. You can always use the prop or the floor as a touchstone for balance. Inhaling back up 1 more time. Exhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. Pause. Choose to slow down your heart by using long, slow breaths. Notice that as you calm down your heart, it calms down the tension that might have been building. Maybe you were thinking thoughts like, why do we have to do this 5 times? This sucks. Let that go with your breath. Maybe you were actually thinking, wow, this feels really good. You can hang on to that one. So of course we have to do the other side. So keep your weight in your right foot, step your left foot back into a big high lunge, sink in, get established in a good lunge first. Bring your arms forward and up, crescent, sink in. Take a big breath in, and as you're ready to exhale, start to shift your weight forward, hands to the floor or the chair, raise your back leg. Now keep breathing. Straighten your spine. You don't want to be curved. Your bottom leg does not want to be bent. All limbs, all spine, long and straight. So arms can be airplane arms. Arms can be hands at heart. Arms can be balanced on a chair. Arms can be straight forward. Stay for 1 more breath. And as you exhale, start to re-engage your bottom leg. Sweep your left knee forward and up. And we'll pause here for about 5 breaths. So again, you can touch the chair if you need a little balance help. You can ground down through your standing leg. Keep your knee in line with your hip and your heel underneath your knee. Don't let your left hip pop up. Squeeze it into place. Turn on your core. Use that core to strengthen your balance. Take a big breath in, reach up with your fingers, and then we begin 5 times. Slowly exhaling into warrior 3. Arms forward, arms at heart, arms back, arms chair. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Go nice and slow. Let your knee come up to the hip level. Exhale, forward fold, long straight spine. Re-engage your standing leg. Inhale, squeeze your thighs towards each other as they pass. And again, nice and slow. If your heart is racing more than you like, hands to heart make it a little bit easier on your heart. Number 4, nice and slow. Exhaling into warrior 3 or Tula Dandasana. Inhaling forward and up. Woo. Exhale 1 more time. Squeeze your thighs in, hug your belly button in. Inhale, arms forward and up, knee high. Exhale, foot to the floor, arms by your side, close your eyes, soften your knees a little. And as you pause, let your body make just easy, gentle movements. Maybe you want to twist a little from side to side, shrug your shoulders back and down, neck rolls. Anything that feels calming and soothing. And stay here for about 2 more breaths. We've just worked our heart rate up high, so a couple of the reasons that our hearts are racing. When your limbs are all stretching away from your heart, it has to pump more to get your blood to the extremities. So it pumps harder and it's pushing. This is good exercise for your cardio. And then it's also a good reminder for your cardio that it can calm down pretty quickly after being engaged. This is very helpful in moments of anxiety or tension or conflict. When you start to feel your blood boil, can you calm it down? Simply by breathing. Take a breath, or take a moment to take a sip of water if you like. So we're going to be in a similar position for 5 breaths now. Similar position to 2 positions that we've done. So when we were on the floor, we were balancing with our opposite hand back on our and our knee bent. We're going to do same position in our body, but with the same arm. So I'll just demonstrate quickly. It's going to be a lot like Warrior 3 at first. See why the chair is there? Then you bend your knee. This time you go back with the same hand, same side. Clasp onto your foot, and we'll work our way into dancer pose. So your chair is there for balance. I'll work through the pointers when we get there. So that's just what we're going for. Combination of 2 moves your body's already done. So, and we'll end in a lunge to get out of it. So inhale your arms up high, and we're gonna swan dive forward as you exhale. This time we're gonna raise up halfway again like we've done so many times, but bring your hands forward, stretch your left leg back, and then find your Warrior 3. So that could be, airplane arms, arms at the heart, arms on the chair for a breath. And then we'll start working towards dancer. Bend your left leg, chair for balance. Bend your left leg, get a clasp on your left foot. And then realign your hips and knees so that they're squared towards the floor and forward. And then push back with your foot. And then maybe bring your hand to your heart. Maybe your arm goes forward. Maybe you want to rise up higher and make it a little easier. This is still a good, strong pose. If you fall out or if you're having a hard time like me, just recommit. Try again. And as we stay here for 2 more breaths, see if you can slow down your breath as your heart is pumping. To exhale, we're going to slowly hinge forward, hand to the chair or the floor. Step your foot back, high lunge. From here, you can keep your back knee raised if you like, or lower it to the floor. Bring your hands up to your bent knee, sink in and just twist to the right, hinge forward, tuck your elbow over your knee and sink in. So we'll be twisting here and it can be a nice release on your right hip. The lower you get your hips to the floor, the more you can release the muscles in the hip that you were just working so strongly. Stay here for 1 more big breath in. And as you exhale, find your hands to the floor. Step your back foot forward, find an easy forward fold. Hands come to the shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, right foot back, giant lunge. Start to shift your weight forward, hands can be on the floor or the chair. And then find your Warrior 3. And then bend your back leg, reach back with your right arm. Get a clasp on your foot. Square your hips towards the floor, push back with your foot. Raise up your heart, feel the back bend. And if you're feeling better at balance than I am, you can have Warrior 3 arm. You can bring your hands to your heart. Might be easier to come halfway up. Stretch your hips forward, straighten your standing leg. Let your right arm release back as you continue breathing. Nice and slow in dancer pose. Hug your knees in towards the center line. Push back with your feet. Reach up with your hands. Stay for 1 more big breath in. And as you exhale, release, forward fold, hands to the floor, step your foot back to a lunge. Option to lower your back knee if you like. Bring your hands up towards your front knee, sink in. Twist in towards your leg. Hinge forward, elbow on the outside of knee, sink your hips lower. It might even feel better to lower your back knee. Squeeze your thighs in towards each other, sink into your twist. Gaze over your left shoulder and try to really stretch out the front of your right hip and the outer back side of your left. Slow down your heart. When your next inhalation comes, forward fold, hands to the mat, exhale. Step your knee back, find cat and cow position for just 2 rounds of breath. From here, sink your hips back towards your heels, belly to the floor, separate your knees wide for your belly, stretch your arms really far forward, so like a devotional pose, and then let your head come to the mat. You can make this more fun for your shoulders by really stretching forward with your fingers, pressing into the mat, and then raising your palms, creating a little extra tension and space to breathe into between your shoulder blades. See if you can slow down your breath here. Slow down your heart. Let your body have time to respond. The reaction here might be to just sigh it out. Respond with a slow metered exhale. And see if you can make the next inhalation even slower, even longer. And the next exhalation so slow that you don't know when it will end. Slowly start to bring your hands back towards your body. Curve your spine and roll up to seated. Inch your way towards the center of your mat and sit back onto your heels. Keep your knees close together in line with each other. Shrug your shoulders up, back, and down, and then bring your hands back to clasp behind your sacrum. Shrug your shoulders again, bring your palms closer together. Try to get your hands towards the floor and your elbows towards each other. Notice if you're starting to arch your back, try to tuck your front ribs in a little. Keep your spine long and straight to start. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Squeeze your shoulders and elbows next to each other, and then start to curve your spine. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Pull your hands towards the floor. Squeeze your elbows towards each other, and reach your heart up towards the sky. Feel a back bend. Keep compressing in your shoulder blades. Stretch up through your chin. We're trying to feel an opening across the front body, including the throat, and an arching of the back body, compression of the shoulder blades, compression of the spine. Stay for one more big breath in. And as you exhale, just release back to a neutral spine. Unclasp your hands. Bring your palms to your thighs. And just let your chin tuck gently. Take another breath. Bring your chin up. Stretch your hands back behind you, and we're going to place our fingertips pointing towards our toes. Squeeze your shoulders together, and then just push up with your hips a little. Reach your heart up towards the sky, and then bring your chin up, and then let your head relax back. So you're just kind of stretching across the front body. Press down with your feet on the floor as you stretch your thighs up and hips up. Stay for one more big breath in. And as you exhale, hips to the floor, come back up to seated. Shift your weight to one side and just stretch your legs forward. Shake them out a little, rub your knees, let the blood flow begin again where we just had it compressed and cut off. Keep your right foot where it is. Bend your left foot and leg and bring your foot to your thigh. So we're going to square our torso towards our right leg. Flex your toes. Inhale your arms up high, interlace your fingers. And as you exhale, hinge forward, and we're going to bring our hands around our foot. So maybe that means you bend your knee. Get your hands around the bottom of your foot. Try to keep your thumb involved on the bottom of your foot. If your leg is long and straight in front of you, keep a nice straight spine and stretch your heart towards your foot. You can bend your knee as much or as little as you like here, but what we're trying to do is, it's kind of essentially like the inhale half lift that we do where we straighten our legs, arm, and spine, right? So legs, back is straight, leg is, even if it's bent, you can still feel that, as if you're coming halfway up like the half lift that we do. Wherever you're at, stay for one more big breath in with a straight spine. Notice if maybe you can extend your foot a little farther. And then as you exhale, just sink into an easy forward fold. Bend your knee as much as you like. Curve your spine a whole bunch. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And then keep encouraging your left shoulder towards the floor so that your spine
is straightened over your extended leg. You can use your hands on the ground to push a little to encourage your tailbone down and really get a big curve in your spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Try to get your forehead to your knee. Keep breathing. Notice that when your belly is compressed, it becomes a little harder to get a deep breath, but try anyway. This is going to move your organs around and kind of massage them all out a little bit. We've been here for about 3 or 5 breaths. Take one more. And as you're ready to exhale, slowly start to rise up.
And just rotate over your left leg and just give yourself a little twist. You can go as deep or as mellow into this twist as you like. One more big breath here. Stretch long through your spine. Exhale, rolling towards center. Extend both legs out in front of you. Shake them out a little. And just notice how different one feels from the other. Keep your left leg long and straight in front of you. Tuck your right foot in towards your thigh. You can adjust your flesh from under your sit bones. Front leg can be straight or bent, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Inhale your arms up high. Interlace your fingers, including your thumbs. Exhale, hinge forward, get your hands around your foot. So leg can be bent as much as you like, or it can be very straight. And we'll take a couple breaths here, just lengthening through the spine as if you're lifting up. Heart, stretching your heart forward. Arms can be long and straight, leg can be long and straight. If your leg is bent, just keep stretching your heart forward. Pull through your arms. Shrug your shoulders back. Everybody, shrug your shoulders back towards your spine. Stay for one more big breath in. And when you're ready to exhale, just start to ease into a forward fold. You can bend your knee a lot. Hug your right shoulder in towards the center and towards the floor to keep your spine straight over your leg. And as you breathe, deepen the curve of your spine. Tuck your chin tighter towards your chest. Try to get your forehead to your knee. Keep tugging your right shoulder towards the floor. Keep breathing slow. Feel your spine lengthening. Feel your organs getting massaged with your lungs. Maybe some release in your lower back. Place your hands on the floor. Walk yourself up to seated. And then just stretch out over your right leg and find a twist. Lengthen your spine. Go easy. Maybe go a little deeper. Maybe just real gentle. And try to feel the twist in the entire length of your spine. Stay for one more giant breath in. And as you exhale, roll forward into seated. Bring your legs forward. Shake them out a little bit. Wiggle out your ankles. Point and flex your toes. And then we'll find a forward fold with both legs straight. So shift your gift from under you. We're going to start again with a long straight spine. This time hands can start on thighs. You're just going to slide your arms forward until they're straight. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs, straighten your back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, slide your long straight arms down your long straight legs, only as far as they can go, keeping your long straight back. Re-engage on the inhalations, push your thighs into the floor, exhale a little farther. And we're going to work this way for 5 breaths. Every inhalation lengthens, re-engage your core, push your thighs in towards the floor, exhale, stretch a little farther. Maybe hands come to ankles or over the feet or to the outside of the feet. But the point here is not to curve and relax in. The point is that we're stretching long through our legs. We're stretching long through our arms. We're stretching forward with our heart to keep a long straight spine. So we're pretty active as we try to hinge a little farther forward with each exhalation. Pull back with your pinky toes, push forward with your heels, that makes it harder. And finish the breath that you're on and take one more. See if you can really engage your legs, engage your arms, engage your spine. And as you exhale, release into an easy forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you like. Try to feel the length of your spine all the way through your neck even, and feel a little bit of opening. Push down with your tailbone, tuck your chin in, relax forward. With each inhalation, try to feel a little more separation in between your vertebrae. And let your head hang a little heavier with each exhalation. You can even relax behind your knees a little bit more.
At the end of your next exhalation, push out all of the breath that you can. Push your belly button towards your spine. And then keep the exhalation complete as you roll up and then begin to inhale as you open your heart towards the sky. Bring your hands behind you. Rest, stretch your heart up high, and give yourself just an easy back bend here. Make whatever adjustments, maybe rock your hips. Feel open across your throat. Try to stretch your belly towards your thighs and your heart towards the sky. Feel a big back bend. And then come up to normal seated. We'll bring our feet to the floor. Place your hands on your thighs, tuck your chin, curve your spine, and we're just gonna roll down, letting our hands slide up past our knees, down our thighs towards our hips. And then stretch them long past your ear. Find a long straight spine and extend through your limbs. Scrunch up every muscle in your body. Squeeze your butt, point your toes, or flex your toes, give yourself fists. Squeeze your shoulders onto the floor, plug your belly button in, scrunch up your face, and then let it go. Bring your arms out to T. Bend your knees. Pick up your hips just to lengthen your spine so you can lay it flat on the floor. Bring your feet about hips width distance. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, let your legs fall to the right. You can hug your right hip, shift it a little bit more under you if you like. Tuck your chin to the left. And just rest here for 2 breaths. Pressing down with your left ear towards the ground. When you're ready to inhale again, come up through center. Re-straighten your spine on the floor. Exhale, let your legs fall to the left. Maybe bump your left hip under you a little. Tuck your chin towards the right and take 2 more long, slow breaths. Pressing your right ear in towards the ground, letting your legs hang heavy. Try to relax the muscles around your spine. On your next inhalation, back up towards the middle. Straighten out your spine on the floor, then hug your knees in towards your belly and rock a little bit from side to side. You can make this feel like a little bit of a lower back massage on the floor. And then we're going to combine a twist with a move we did earlier. So Janu Shirshasana, wind relieving pose. Keep your right thigh plugged in close, extend your left leg to the sky. On an exhale, lower that leg slowly down towards the ground. Keep that leg long, strong, and active. As you inhale, squeeze your thigh in towards your belly, creating compression. And then we'll twist. As you exhale, right leg crosses over the body. You can bump your left hip under you a little. Bring your left leg long and straight and your right leg towards the floor. Then you can bring your chin towards your right shoulder, and we'll be here for 5 breaths. So tuck your chin a little more towards the shoulder, plug your shoulder more towards the floor. Press your right ear more towards the floor. So you start out active for the first couple breaths, maybe even extending longer through your left leg, maybe gently pulling with your left hand on your right knee. And with your next exhalation, just relax everything. Maybe even release your arm out to T and let everything go. And we'll be here for the next 2 or 3 breaths. Sometimes I like to extend more through my right arm to feel an opening across my armpit and pectoral muscles. Sometimes that's more exciting than it seems like it has a right to be. And we're going to roll slowly onto our back, but leave your right leg real heavy. So shoulder comes down first, slowly rolling as your leg then has to come up into the air. Put your foot on the ground, both feet on the ground. Straighten out your spine. Hug your knees in towards your belly, squeeze them in tight, rock a little. Notice how different one side feels from the other. Keep your left leg in tight, bent. Send your right leg up towards the sky and slowly, slowly lower it down. Once it hits the ground, take a big breath in and squeeze your thigh into your belly. Twist on the exhale. So right leg is long and straight, left leg crosses over. You can bump your right hip under to straighten your spine. Extend your left arm out long, bring your right hand to your knee. Take big breath in. As you exhale, twist deeper. Chin towards left shoulder, right knee towards the floor. Make the first couple breaths active, stretching long through your right leg, pushing down with your left shoulder, maybe gently guiding your left knee towards the floor with your right hand, pressing your left ear towards the mat. Stay for one more big breath like this. And as you exhale, relax. Let your gravity do the work on your body. Maybe extend your left arm a little farther for that pectoral armpit stretch. And take 2 more breaths here. Let your spine release. Let your jaw go. Eyes can be closed. We're gonna keep the left leg real heavy, but roll onto our back. So plug down with your left shoulder, start to roll onto your back leg. Has to come up at some point. Place it on the floor, straighten out your spine on the ground. And we'll do a moment in happy baby. So knees come towards your body first, then open wide. Start to bring your feet up a little as you reach your hands towards your feet. So elbows are inside of thighs, hands are wrapped around pinky toes. And then kick around. You've got a couple moments here to really do anything that feels good for the next 3 to 5 breaths. Actually, let's make it 5 to 10 breaths. You can bend and straighten your legs one at a time. Notice if your chin is jutting up towards the sky, and just lengthen your spine by reaching out through the crown of your head and tucking your chin. You can keep squeezing your shoulders towards the floor. You can push your feet into your hands and pull back with your hands. You can make this very static by just sitting still, but pushing up with your feet and pulling back with your hands. Notice what muscles you can release there as you do that action. And say for 2 more breaths, wherever you're at, try to find some stillness for the next couple breaths. If your eyes are open, consider shutting them. Flex your feet and slowly bring the soles of your feet together, so like butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Push your knees away from you and bring them close. So it's just like we were taught as children to flutter your butterfly wings when you're sitting on the floor, but we're laying on the floor with a straight spine. It's just a little different. And then slowly keep your feet where they are, but release your hands to the outside of your knees. Bring your knees together. Let your feet come to the floor. Arms by your side. Shrug your shoulders a little closer underneath you, so you actually feel your heart rise up a little. And then extend your legs long onto the floor for Shavasana. You can kind of start by stretching your fingertips towards your feet and shrugging your shoulders, but then let everything relax. Close your eyes. Start to feel gravity on every aspect of your body and let it work. Let your muscles relax. Feel your muscles draping over your bones. Feel gravity work on the fluids inside of your body. Feel your organs sinking towards the floor. Feel the skin on your face gently tugging towards the ground. Ears feel heavy. Feel your brain sitting in the back of your skull. Feel the fascia and the muscles and the tendons all being gently encouraged towards the ground. Let your bones feel heavy. And then slowly start to bring some energy into your body. Let your fingertips and toes wiggle, your ankles and wrists. And as you start to deepen your breath even more, stretch your arms over your head, point your fingers and toes away from yourself in a full body stretch. And then slowly bend your knees. Let your knees rock a little from side to side. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Roll over onto your left side and use your hands to gently push yourself up to seated. Cross your legs gently in front of you. Inhale your arms up to the sky, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands to the heart. Press your sternum up towards your thumbs. Tuck your chin just gently towards your heart. Head bows to heart. Let your heart, in all of its strength, guide you. And as you deepen your next couple breaths even more, Remember that you have these breaths at your disposal. They're your tool in your tool belt. They can calm down your heart rate. They can calm down your mind. They can calm down your reactions and give you time to respond. And thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me today, yogis. The gym is moving forward, so check your emails and talk to Jackie. Namaste.